is only warnings. What means, for example, front step out. What means that it's when it's yellow means that the outrigger is extended. When it's completely retracted, will be off and front step in. Okay. But for what? Because, for example, you have a problem in the frame, on the triggers and so on. You can understand without physically with the multimeter. You can check all the switches, because all micro switch for the stabilization and proximity sensor for the machine closing. You can understand if it is working or not immediately. Okay. And this for any single movement, any single stabilizer, outrigger. Okay. Here you have taking care that our software is standard, and this software covers all the models. In this case, you don't find the crossbar because you don't have the crossbar, so don't take care about it. Track rear axle. This is the switch that I explained you that control end will be yellow when the sensor will be closed. Okay, because we think contact opened, contact closed. Normally, in the 99% of the cases, our contact micro switches or proximity are able to normally close contact. Okay, so you understand when it's free, the contact is closed. If it is a proximity, when the proximity is on, we use the normally close the contact, or is double, depends on what it must do. Anyway, here you will be reading X, reading epsilon, the angles. From here you can erase the sensor, 0. And tomorrow I will show you how. It's easy. You use always the electronic bubble, put the straight, and then click on 0. And after we have some parameter. Okay. The last one, step stabilization. Okay. This flag will be yellow when you reach the condition, all the condition for the automatic stabilization. I repeat, axle up, target reached. At the end, you will read this light, this flag yellow. The machine is okay, is stable and okay. We have a lot of parameters here. For example, threshold stop leveling. This is the target, and normally you will find from 0.3 to 0.5. We cannot, you can understand, we cannot to give 0, because if you close the clearance, okay, machine continues try to find 0, is impossible. Okay, so you will find as well parameters like this, but I repeat, in your case the distributor on the frame is on off, is not proportional, so you cannot change the speed. You will find these parameters all at the maximum. If you change, nothing happens. Or happen, but machine don't move. Only this. And same story for the stabilizers. For example, for him, for the raptor, for the spider, this is important because it's a proportional system on the frame and you can choose the speeds. Okay. Okay, for this, and tomorrow we will see how to film. Very, very easy. Canvas. Here, when you will be connected, you can click to start, and you will see in the exactly moment all the ID of the components, if all the ID is working, and so on. For example, you can understand if you have all the devices working, if you lost one channel, and in that case you will read an alarm, or if the device completely disappeared, you don't read two ID, and you check. Normally, is the first step that you check when you have problems. Okay. Geometry. Here you can adjust some devices calibration. For example, here you can adjust the zero of the leveling of the basket. Electronic bubble, put in manual to 0, and save. Okay. Homing memo function here is 0 or 1. If it is 1, is enabled. If it is 0, is disabled. But in your case, speaking about speed, you will find ever 1. Battery is only an advisement for the voltage of the battery in that moment. Of course, different if you have the engine on or off, obviously. Okay. This is a page dedicated complete for the load cell, but you don't have. So don't take care, because I need to have a half day only for this, because there are a lot of parameters.
Ci sono delle volte che ordinano con la cella di carico.
Ok, ok. Dipende che macchina è, perché...
Poi soprattutto sono doppie articolate, tipo 20 di 24.
Ma con la cella ancora di 300 kg?
Le fanno, sì.
Perché nel 24 c'è tutta una serie di parametrizzazioni apposta.
E quello lo faceva vedere l'altra volta. Allora.
Sì.
Fai il piccola 20 per esempio.
Ok. Now I choose to explain you the minimum, because there are a lot of, depends which kind of models. Okay. Now you have a unit with an overload below the cage, the sensor. Okay, and you want to or check or erase if you replace the load sensor. For you, in this case, a 20D double articulated with a load cell, you need only you replace the load cell, okay? Basket completely empty. Sorry, not that. Click on enable, you will read some values here. 0, save, finish story. It don't need to be as the older model, the 0, the maximum, no, only because this is in canvas, so only 0 and save, finish story. If in the future you will buy units like 24 DA or 27 DA, I will explain it, because now it's easier and I make confusion, because
of two different areas.
no, because the 24 and the 27 DA has some angles. For example, I tell you, but only for example, the 2070A for a stability condition, you have, for example, you can load 300 kilograms till 35 degrees. From 35 to 55 degrees, 210. Over 55 degrees, only 130 kilograms, and is reduced the extension. What means you can pass with 300 kilogram all the angles, but you cannot to extend the boom till this extension ref, the value that you will, okay, is better to see on the machine. This. For the moment, you need only to understand to erase. Finish story. Okay. RTC, vabbè, RTC is date, hour, so, okay. This is interesting. Error memory. When you are connected to the unit, for example, you have a customer that call you and say, okay, sometimes the machine, but do you read some, I forgot, I don't know. Okay, connect, you can click on refresh and you have the alarm list complete with that number of the alarm and some information about the position in that moment. For example, boom angle, boom extension, encoder, turret,